Halloween time is here again, and what better time to take a closer look at some of the scariest cartoon theories I've ever covered. Now, I've been making these videos for over 5 years now, and I have done hundreds and hundreds of theories. But today, I picked out the top 5 creepy and scary ones. I won't go into full detail on each theory. I'll give a little bit of a synopsis on all of them, but I'll leave a link to the full video in the description and the end slate, so you guys can go get the full theory if you guys are interested after you hear a little bit about it. But anyways, let's jump in with number 5, Care Bear Voodoo. Everyone's favorite cute and cuddly bears that they adored growing up may actually have roots in voodoo culture. There are many ties between the two. The name Care Bears is similar to the word Carrefours, which is a district in Port-au-Prince, an area right in the heart of the voodoo world. Also, voodoo is a religion that has lots of symbolism, the most important being the Veve symbols that represent each of the voodoo gods. And if we take a look at Love-A-Lot Bear and the goddess Azuri, they're often similar. Azuri is often associated with the color pink, just like Love-A-Lot Bear, and the twin hearts could be a nod towards the fact that Azuri is the goddess of both love and motherhood. Another interesting connection is between Damballa, who is symbolized by a rainbow, and Cheer Bear, who also has a rainbow on his chest. Cheer Bear, more than any of the other Care Bears, is shown using magical or mystical powers just like Damballa does in voodoo lore. So as you can see, there are many striking similarities between the two, and it could be possible that the Care Bears borrowed from voodoo symbolism, which is very creepy, especially for a kids show. Number 4 is the Wiley Coyote is actually in hell theory. This theory is incredibly creepy to me when I first read it, and to this day I still can't watch Roadrunner without thinking about it. Basically, the theory says that Wile E. Coyote is stuck in a desert landscape, eternally taunted by his heart's desire being always present, but always just out of reach. There is nothing worse than being so close to the thing you want most in life and having it taken away from you. But then, do that time and time again is complete torture. Wile E is clearly condemned to an eternal cycle of desire, false hope, and brutally painful disappointment, and this makes for an absolutely crazy theory. There's a lot of symbolism that was used in this, a lot of Bible, believe it or not, Bible verses make it into this theory. And it was a very creepy theory to me because it really changed the way I looked at that show, and it kind of fit the mold. So that's why it was so creepy, and that's why it's at number 4 on our list. Coming in at number 3 is the Arthur theory that claims he was a real-life boy who loved animals. And after his dog Pal dies, his parents decide to cheer him up by taking him to the zoo. Unfortunately for Arthur, it was the wrong day to visit the zoo, as many of the animals escaped their exhibits and he ended up being attacked by a lion. As he laid dying from his wounds, an aardvark of all animals comes and laid next to him to try and comfort him as he lay there dying. This is the last thing he sees as a child before he is rushed to the hospital, where he eventually slips into a deep coma. It is only then, in his mind, that we start to see the characters we know from the show. It is why Arthur is an aardvark and many of the other characters are all animals. Because he loved animals, and because his last thing he saw was this aardvark at the zoo, this is why they see this. This theory is actually incredibly sad, and it gets very dark. And at the same time, it's one of my personal favorite theories, but like I said, it is incredibly sad and incredibly dark. Definitely a solid fit at number 3 on our list. In our runner-up spot is the Willy Wonka secret ingredient theory. This theory gave me chills, and it's one of the darkest I've ever covered. We all know the story of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and how he is very serious about keeping his secret ingredient secret. Well, this theory claims that the secret ingredient is the kids themselves. That is why he hosts the golden ticket tour of the factory, to lure in children and kill them one by one and use them to make his candies. It isn't just a coincidence that the kids start to go missing, and the real reason behind it is enough to give you the chills. Definitely one of the scariest theories I've ever covered. This one made me go back and watch the movie and look for the small little looks he gives the kids, and when the Oompa Loompas come in and all that crazy stuff. But if you actually go back and watch it, and after you watch this theory, it changes the movie dramatically. At least for me personally, I never really looked at the movie the same, because he's just there to murder kids and then eat them, and it's so crazy. But it's a great theory, but definitely one of the scariest I've ever done. And finally, our number one creepiest and scary cartoon theory has to go to the Ed, and Eddie Purgatory theory. This theory claims that all of the characters in the show died in real life and are now stuck in the cul-de-sac for all eternity. The evidence is pretty convincing too. They all have blue tongues just like dead people would have, and you never see any adults, and it's never ending summer. It's always the same season, never ever changes. But the creepiest part about the theory is that each kid is supposed to have died in a different decade, and it makes total sense. I mean, if you look at this image right here, we can see that Ralph, the immigrant farmer who died in a farming accident in 1903, Johnny died in the 1920s, and that would explain why his best friend was a 2x4. There wasn't enough money back then for kids to have toys, so we had to make do with just a plank. Therefore, that's why Plank is his favorite friend. Then there's Eddie, born during the Great Depression. That's always why he's out to make a quick buck by running some scam to try and fleece others out of their cash. And the list goes on. It covers every one of the characters in every different decade, and it makes so much sense. It's super creepy, and it's very, very convincing. And that's one of my favorite theories, but at the same time, it's very creepy to think about how all of these characters died and how they're all stuck in this cul-de-sac, which is basically just purgatory. This is one of my favorite cartoons, and after hearing this creepy theory, I've never looked at it the same, and I totally believe this theory. It's crazy. But anyway, that's all I have time for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you guys did, please like the video. And like I said, there will be full videos. There are full videos of each of the theories that I've mentioned. The links are in the description, and I will be leaving links in the end slate you guys can click on and check all the actual full-length videos out to get the full theory, to get the whole thing, if you guys are interested in that. Also, if you guys could leave a like on this video, it'd be greatly appreciated. Let's try to hit 500 likes for the end of this weekend. And if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe for more theories and gaming content in your sub boxes daily. Today's code word you guys can leave in the comments below is Thunder. But until next time, guys, remember it's always KMACK time somewhere. Take it easy and peace out.